My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. I'd like to report about dirty tricks, and I will call them dirty tricks that attorneys pull when you go to observe open courtroom proceedings, dirty tricks that they pull to get you excluded from the courtroom. So last December the 4th, 2019, I was at a hearing between a couple of people. I was a reporter for United Parents for Children News. This is the organization that I represent when I go into some of these courtroom proceedings so that I can report back to them what exactly is happening in these family courts. What are the practices that are taking place? By the way, you don't have to be a reporter to do this. The open courts doctrine is something that is also enshrined in our Texas state constitution. Article 1, section 13 says that courts shall remain open. And I would encourage you, in fact, I would tell you it's an obligation. It's a duty for you to at least at some time during the course of each year to go into these courts to see what these attorneys and judges are doing, how they are depriving individuals of rights, and what type of tricks and shenanigans they use to actually destroy families, and not to promote justice, but to promote injustice. In this case, yesterday I was there, and a KoonsFuller attorney, Richard L. Robertson, otherwise known as Rick Robertson. Rick Robertson was there. The first time that I heard of the firm KoonsFuller Law Firm was when they represented Dr. Ann Georgelis, pediatrician Ann Georgelis, in the, quote, Save James case. The case in which the pediatrician, Ann Georgelis, wanted to take steps to ensure that her 7-year-old son would start the transitioning from boy to girl. And who was defending Dr. Ann Georgelis? KoonsFuller Law Firm. KoonsFuller was there with their array of attorneys. They were there defending and pressing forward, stating that the pediatrician had the right to make these medical decisions on behalf of her 7-year-old son. Her 7-year-old son, she was going to start in the process of transgendering, 7 years old. KoonsFuller was there to represent her. So KoonsFuller, I've seen them in the past, I've known of them, though in the reputation of the public may be wonderful, the reputation in my mind is not great. If you go to the KoonsFuller website, they will tell you that every story has two sides. And what I believe that they're doing is they want to know who has the most money to spend, who they will make the most money off of. Every side has two stories. We can take either side of the stories. You just tell us your story and tell us how much money you have and are willing to spend on this lawsuit, and we may very well see things your way. So yesterday when I was in Collin County, this attorney, Rick Robertson out of Plano, Texas, he did what I thought was an extremely dirty trick. And I've not just seen this once. This is not the first time that I've experienced this. I've also experienced it under Judge Graham Kiesenberry's court in Parker County, Texas. And as I've talked with other people, I found out this is a dirty trick that these attorneys are using, not just here and there, but they seem to be using it because we as citizens are starting to report on their dastardly deeds in these courts, and they want to shut us up. So what Rick Robertson did, he called me as a witness. He invoked the rule, meaning I would have to actually leave the courtroom because he was calling me as a witness, and he called me as a witness. My knowledge of this case stemmed back to December of last year when, as a reporter for United Parents for Children News, I was informed of this case and I reported on it. I was there as a media reporter. But for Rick Robertson of KoonsFuller, he wants to shut me up. He does not want me reporting on what he and his law firm and his attorney that was with him from KoonsFuller are actually doing in these courts. So he called me as a witness, even though I had very little knowledge of the case, primarily derived from my contact with the man involved, and also from an interview that I did with his wife on December the 4th, 2019. After I witnessed what I thought was inexcusable in Collin County Court. So Rick Robertson was trying to silence me, and Rick Robertson also, when he called me as a witness, was trying to embarrass me, in a sense, before the judge and try to sway the judge to his opinion. So when he called me as a witness, the attorney for the individual that I was there reporting on, just to see what was going on, actually noted to the judge that by calling me as a witness, Rick Robertson was trying to violate the open courts policy. Moreover, it was not just that, he was trying to violate the Texas State Constitution. Article 1, Section 13 of our Texas State Constitution. Article 1, by the way, deals with the Bill of Rights for everybody who lives in Texas. There are 34 specific rights that you have as a Texan living in Texas, according to our Texas State Constitution. Article 1, Section 13 of our Texas State Constitution says that there shall be open courts. So we as the public have the right, and I would even say the obligation and the duty, to go to these courts to see what these courts are doing, to be able to report to our legislature whether the judges are judging incorrectly or whether they are being abusive. We should be able to report on these attorneys to see what practices they are, whether they're ethical or unethical. Rick Robertson, in my opinion, from what I saw and from his interaction with me, was trying to silence me in opposition of the open courts doctrine and in opposition of the Texas State Constitution. And I'm going to go ahead and play the video clip of Rick Robertson not only seeking to silence me, but fishing for other people that he was seeking to silence. I do have a video recording of the entire event. I want to thank Rick Robertson for giving me his name before he left. I want to thank Rick Robertson for all of these things that he has done so that we can now prove beyond a shadow of a doubt this takes place in the state of Texas. He was advocating, in my opinion, for something which violates the open courts doctrine and which violates our constitutional rights, our Bill of Rights in Texas under the Texas State Constitution, Article 113, that states that we should have open courts. I invite you to watch this, and if you wish, please file a bar complaint against Rick Robertson as I present you with this video from the court yesterday in Collin County. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would ask Mr. Jeff Morgan to stand, please, and be sworn in. And we would like to identify any other people there in the courtroom that may have a connection to the case that we may want to call in as witness. Ms. Morgan? Okay. Is that your name?
I don't know anything about this.
Your Honor, Mr. Morgan has posted social media posts on YouTube with interviews of Carolina Garza, references to Robert Garza. He was in the courtroom the last time. I intend to ask him questions, and I would ask that he stand up and be sworn and excluded from the courtroom.
He's not a fact witness, Your Honor. All he is an observer. Yeah, what Mr. Robertson is trying to promote here is a violation of the open court policy with regard to other individuals observing court proceedings.
I do anticipate calling him as a witness in this matter, Your Honor.
In this hearing?
In this hearing.
For this order? Somebody commented?
There are a number of reasons. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, Your Honor. I'm certainly not wanting to get into a discussion with either Mr. Nath or Mr. Bernard.
Well, that's a great detail.
I was going to ask any other witnesses in the court of the case or employees that are extra. We asked each of these to have been identified as witnesses in the courtroom. If you were going to sit and raise your right hand.
Your Honor, so we have the other individuals at least identified.
Yes, sorry. Before you raise your hand, so you're not doing it.
So everybody on the back row that's not standing, please stand and identify yourself, please.
I'm Ryan Coates.
And what is your connection to this case, Mr. Coates?
Mr. Garza is my father.
Okay. And you, sir?
David Garza.
Also, Mr. Garza is your father?
Yes.
All right. And you, sir?
My name is Pastor Nicholas Capetti, and I'm Robert Garza's pastor.
All right. And you, sir?
He doesn't speak English, but he's my assistant.
All right. And would you stand, please, and identify yourself?
I'm Dr. Farhan Merchant. I'm Mr. Garza's son.
Okay. Your Honor, we would ask, except for the individual that doesn't speak English, we would ask that each of those also be sworn.
Okay, what I don't want to do is excluding people from the courtroom that are not possibly going to be called to testify on that. So what I'm asking, as a member of the bar, are you representing that each of the people standing would potentially or you anticipate calling them as a witness?
The only reason on the other individuals, Your Honor, that that we even have any possible anticipation of calling them as witnesses is because I don't know what all these other witnesses are going to say. And they may end up being witnesses that